Hello everyone, welcome to this video on ranges in Python. In this video, we are going to explore what is range in Python, and we are also going to look at how range are useful to do all sorts of the different things in Python. So I hope you are excited. So let's get started. So before I do anything, I would like to first of all introduce myself. My name is Rahul Jha and I am from technicalustad.com. Let me tell you a little bit about technicalustad.com. Technicalustad.com is an online platform, or rather I should say is an online technical platform which provides content on various different types of technical topics like this in the form of blog and videos. So I hope you are excited about this topic called ranges in Python, and we are going to be learning about everything that you need to know to get started and to get started working with ranges in Python. Okay, so let's get started. So first of all, we will talk about what exactly is range in Python. So range is a way of making iterations easier. Okay, without range it would be a little bit difficult to kind of get that performance that we are able to get right now, and you will be able to exactly see what do I exactly mean when I will be implementing the range class myself. So what I will do is I will assume that there is no range in Python and I will try to implement range from scratch. So before looking at what range is, let me open IDLE, and once IDLE has been opened, okay, so this is the IDLE. Once IDLE has been opened, I would like to implement one way of getting a sequence of numbers. Now suppose, for example, suppose I am writing the task here. I want numbers from 1 to 20. Okay, so this is my task. And suppose I do not know about range class in Python. So how can I do this? What I can do is I can say something like required list. So I can first of all initialize an empty list. Now what I can do is I can say define a counter variable. So I can say something like counter is equal to 0. Now I can say while counter, or rather I should say let me define counter as 1, because we want numbers from 1 and 20. So I'll say counter is equal to 1. I'll say while counter is less than equal to 20, what should I do? First of all, I should append counter to required list, and then also I should append 1 to the counter. So if I hit enter and if I print required list, notice here required list is starting from 1 all the way to 20. Now this is a very boring and a very long way and a very tedious way of getting a list of values starting from 1 and 20. Now let us look at the range class. Okay, so now let us look at this range class. Now range class is a special sequence class which is provided by Python to hide this process that we have just discussed. So what we did earlier is that we created this code to get a list of numbers starting from 1 to all the way to 20. Okay, so we defined all this code. What if I say you that this sequence can be defined in one line of code? And that is what is precisely done by this range class. So if we read the definition of range class, we will say that it is a way of making a sequence from some start and all the way to a specified end. Now here start is 1 and the specified end is 20. So if I want a list starting from 1 all the way to 20, I would need this range class. So how does it work? So let me show you how can I define this same exact sequence using range. Now the moment I type this range, notice the color of the text range changes. And inside this range, I can specify numbers like 1 and 20. So if I hit enter, notice here we get this strange looking object. Now this object is representing a range object which says and tells Python that this object holds number starting from 1 to 20 but not 20. So this is a very strange fact that when we define range, this last number is excluded. So if I want this kind of behavior, what I would need to instead do is I would need to specify a range object starting from 1 and 21. Although here it is shown that it is all the way to 21, but the last number is always excluded. Now how can I convert this range object to a list? I can simply wrap this object around the list constructor, and if I hit enter, notice the output is the same as we got earlier. So this particular method, this new method, is obviously quite easy and convenient than the previous line of codes. Okay, so I hope you have been able to understand what exactly is this range class. So range class is essentially a way of creating a range or sequence starting from some number all the way to a specified end number. So now let us move on to the next slide. Now next slide talks about the syntax of this range object or range class. Now the syntax of range class clearly displays the start, the end, and the step. What does this step imply in range class? To actually see what does this imply, we would like to take an example. We would like to say that range starting from 1 to 21, but this time let's say step of 2. So what does this mean? So let's wrap this thing around the list constructor, and if I hit enter, notice we are starting from 1 as mentioned in our list constructor, but instead of 2 we are getting 3. Why? Because we said that step is 2, hence there will be a step of 2. So from 1 to 3 there is a gap of 2, from 3 to 5 there is a gap of 2, and all the way to 19. But notice here this time we don't have any 20. Why? Because if we add 2 to 19, then it would be 21, and 21 exceeds 20. That is why 20 is not included, 21 is not included in this particular list. So I hope you have been able to understand this particular concept. Now let me show you one more thing. If I call list range and a number, so here I am just saying that range of 5. Now when we call range like this, then a 0 will be automatically added behind the scenes. So if I just call this, then notice here it automatically adds 0. It assumes that the user is asking for a range from 0 all the way to 5, and since 5 is not included, it will generate a sequence of numbers starting from 0 to all the way to 4. Okay, so I hope you have been able to understand whatever I discussed here. Okay, so now let us now move on to the next slides. So till now we have discussed what is range and what is the syntax of range. Now let us talk about how can we use range with for loops. So let me first of all cut this IDLE shell and let me open a new shell. Okay, so now what I need to do is, what I want to want all of you to see is, I want all of you to see how can we use range with loops. Let us say I have a list, and let us say I have a list of names. Let me define this list as names of some people who are working in certain organization. So these are some people who are working in certain organization. Now what we can do is we can print the name of these entries by calling loop such as for name in list of names, and I can print name. Now this name is a temporary variable which holds the value of the current value in the iteration, which always changes. So name starts with Sam, and in the second iteration it moves on to David, and then Muke, then Panda, and then Python. So if I hit enter, notice here this loop prints all the names which are there in the list of names. So is there any alternative way of achieving this same exact thing? Yes, there is. If you guys know that the Python's indexing, list indexing, is starting from 0 to all the way to the length of the list. So if I check the length of the list by calling len, I get this 5. So what I can do is I can say something like for I stands for index in range. So I am defining this range. I will define it all the way to the length. Okay, now I am saying that for I in range. Now this range, first of all, it will check the length of list of names, which we have just seen is 5. Now it will substitute 5 here. So we will be having a range of 5. And if you guys remember from the last discussion, so let me cut this thing and let me show you what range of 5 is. So to show you range of 5, I would like to first of all call list on it, and see here it is starting from 0 to 4, and this 0 represents the index of this Sam and 4 represents the index of Python. Let me prove this to you. So I'll say list of, and let me specify 4. So you can clearly see the 4th index is corresponding to Python. Now what we can do is we can loop through it for index in range of length of list of names. So if I close this and if I now print list of names and ith value, now this I stores the current index of this list, and if I close this thing, notice here the output is exactly same as what we got earlier. So this was a small discussion on how can we use range with for loops. Okay, so I hope you have been able to understand this. Now you might be asking yourself that why should one use this list, this range method for printing the list elements instead of this method. Now it turns out that many a times this method is not feasible and cannot be used in those methods. In those scenarios we have to use this method only, the method of using length with range. So let me close this notebook, not notebook. We are not working in Jupyter Notebook. We are working with Python IDLE shell. So let me close this and let me continue with the next slides. So we have just discussed how to work with range with for loops. So now let us talk about range with for loops with this special character. Now this special character is called underscore character. Now this character is used in Python to define an unnamed variable. Now consider, for example, so first of all let me explain you this underscore function. Let me define a variable. Let me define a function first. So this function is named, let us call it a pseudo name function, pseudo function. It takes an argument and it returns two numbers. It returns first of all the square of a number, and then it returns the cube of the number. And let me call pseudo number with 3. So notice here when I call pseudo on 3, I am getting two numbers, 9 and 27. Now let us say I would like to store these two results in two variables. So I can say something like a comma b, and if I hit enter, now a would have been assigned to 9 and b will be assigned to 27. Now here, okay, so here 9 is assigned to A and 27 is assigned to B. But what if I am not interested in the second value? In that case, I have to unnecessarily, since pseudo is returning two values, I have to unnecessarily waste the memory in the form of B. In place of B, what I can do is I can not define any variable and I can specify this underscore, which tells the Python that we do not want any storage for this second value. So this value will be thrown out of the memory. So if I hit enter, we have this number, but if I print this underscore, we are getting this 27. But this convention is used to kind of tell Python and tell whoever is reading this code that we are not concerned with this value. We are simply not interested in this particular value. Okay, now let us now see why might this be useful in why might this be useful with range object. So what we can do is, for I in range 10, so I'm calling loop for 10 times, and if I want to print 10 times hello, notice here, while printing this hello 10 times, I did not use this I variable. So there was no need for creating this I variable. So what I could have instead done is, instead of calling this I could have just called it this underscore. And if I hit enter, let me first of all increase this screen. Okay, sorry. I hope you are able to see. So if I put this underscore here and if I hit enter, notice here same hello is getting printed, but this time we don't have any variable such as I. Okay, so I hope you have been able to get whatever I am discussing right now. So now what is the next thing? First of all, let me revise everything that I have discussed in this video so far. In this video, let me go to the first slide. So first of all, we introduced range in Python. We introduced range in Python as a way of making iterations easier. We said range class is a way of making sequence from some sort of start to all the way to specified end. We said that with the help of range, we can make range starting from a number all the way to a specified number, and we can also add a step dimension to it. And we can also use range with for loop, as we have just seen, and we can also add and use range with for loop with this underscore notation. Now we have to learn how can we use range and list. Okay, we have already discussed this range with list, I guess. So let me open IDLE again. So what do we mean by range with list? What is range? Range is an object. So if I say something like range object, I'll say range starting from 1 all the way to 21 and gap of 1. Now this range object is not the list itself. To convert this object into a list, I need to wrap this object around this range constructor. Then I get this result which displays the number starting from 1 to all the way to 20. Okay, now what is the significance of this? Can I loop through this range object? Yes, I can. Let me show you how you can. So for I in this range object, so I can say print I. Now notice what this is going to give us. It is going to print all the numbers. While calling this range object in loop, I can print these numbers. But when I print this range object directly, I am not able to see those numbers. Are you getting my point? So the point that I am trying to make here is that when you print range object is an iterator object, and iterator objects can only be accessed via for loops, or they can be converted using this list constructor. Okay, so I hope you have been able to get this particular point, range and list. And defining more complex ranges with step, we have already discussed this topic also, that how can I define range with a step of, let's say, 3. Okay, and I can then convert, let me move this a little bit. Okay, so now what I can do is I can wrap this range object with list, and I can hit enter, and with the help of this third argument I can also add this step dimension. Okay, so with this particular last discussion, I'll stop this video right here. And in this video we have discussed about a lot of things with regard to range, and I hope you have enjoyed watching this video, and I hope that you will now work more with range and work with the tricks that we have discussed in this particular video. Okay, so with that said, I'll stop this video right here. So thank you so much for watching this video. Have a nice day.